Hello, konnichiwa. Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Good evening, Zan. How's it going? Hi, Ranger. Hi, Art. Hi, Dracon. Hello. How's everyone doing? I decided I was doing warm-ups before stream because, we're reading a visual novel, gotta be prepared, and I decided, you know what? I'm just gonna segue in halfway through a note, because why not? Oh, big stretch. How's everyone doing? Stretch to the side. Jambola, hello. Happy, oh god. Is it Thursday? Yes, it's Thursday. I no longer know the days of the week. I only know what my stream content for the day is. I remember when Genshin was updating stuff, I was like, shit, isn't it Lantern right time already? And Duna's like, yep. I'm like, wow. Got no concept of the dates anymore. Too stress be gone. Jeesh. Well, save it for a rainy day if you don't need it. Or I think everyone needs. How was my day? Not bad. Oh my gosh, what's the word I'm looking for? Pretty standard. I woke up too early, and then I ended up late for work because eventually I fell back asleep. I was like, okay, I'm gonna have a shower to help wake me up. But no, the shower relaxed me too much. Because usually I shower at night, so I think my body's like, oh, it's bedtime routine time. It's like, okay. So yeah, supposed to start work at 8:45, wake up at 9:30. It's like, yeah, just a little late, I'm sorry. Not sleeping well. Though hopefully now that a bunch of the craziness from the job change should be winding down in the next few weeks, everything will right itself out. Because it's one of those things, it's like, I don't think I'm stressed, but the fact that my medication has been less effective, I'm like, maybe I am more stressed than I realize. But I'm still getting adequate hours and adequate quality of sleep. It's just unfortunately I'm waking up in the middle of the night. I'm not sleeping all the way through, so I keep having moments like I had last time where it's like I literally just like sent my phone flying across the room. Like turn off the alarm, just bat the thing away. I'm like, I'm going back to bed. No, don't go back to bed. Do stay strong? Always stay strong. It is what it is. Oh! Also, I bought, so I was at Walmart, and they started selling protein coffee. Like the cardboard Tetra packs of like protein coffee, and there's different flavored ones, and I was like, oh, Sakura would be so happy. So of course I bought some. And of course they're disgusting. Protein and coffee should not mix. It's way too bitter now. I'm like, I think we need to... So for the next one, I think I need to do, like, you know, half regular coffee, half protein coffee or something like that to, like, even it out. Because I got, like, the mocha equivalent one, and I'm like, the chocolate will surely balance things out because I know this is gonna be bitter. Any protein drink you buy, unless it's got a shit ton of sugar, is gonna be very, very gross anyway. Yeah, the mocha did not help. The mocha did not save anything. All it did is it gave it the consistency of, like, chocolate milk. But did not taste like chocolate milk. Like, it looked like chocolate milk. There was no chocolate taste in there. Bow bow! Excuse me. Bow bow, bow bow, yeah. So that's okay, though. I'll stick to my equivalent of protein coffee. AKA, sometimes I'll substitute a little bit of the liquid in my smoothies with coffee. But, like, yeah, you don't want... Most people don't want a significant amount of coffee in their protein, whatever. Because, yeah, the bitterness just... How about we drink our coffee and the protein shake separately? Do not mix. Because on their own, like, if you put, like, I put, like, protein powder in my smoothies, I'm like, that tastes fine. You add coffee in there and suddenly it does not taste fine. Coffee on its own is okay, but apparently no. No. So, kudos to you, Sakura. I am sure you love this stuff, especially for the workout boost and all of that kind of stuff, but nah. For the average consumer, don't have protein coffee. I bought it thinking, I'm like, oh, this is to each their own. Pretty much, yeah. I bought it going like, oh, this will be, like, good to have and keep at the apothecary because we have a fridge that we can use for our own personal stuff. Because I was like, oh, this way if I'm ever running late and, you know, I forgot to bring my lunch or I didn't eat all my breakfast or whatever, I can just have one of these. And it's not like a meal replacement drink. It's only like 100 calories or whatever, but I'm like, yeah, like, you know, it'll at least give me a little something until lunchtime, and I can, like, go to the food court or whatever. Yeah. Sometimes you buy stuff going, I know this is gonna go bad, but I'm curious. I'm just so curious, and now here we are. Some people are just like that, though, because some people can tolerate their beverages being gross if there's a benefit to it. Like, I remember, God. Was it Ace, Iduna's partner? I think it was. For a while, we'll just say it was. For a while, he was just doing salt in water for electrolytes, like, as a gym thing, because didn't want the extra sugar from, you know, the actual sports drinks. And I'm like, why would you do that to yourself? It's like, what? It's like, why? Why? things people do for gains. Honestly, I'm like... Blah, 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 blah. Some people are just like, yeah, it's fine, you know, just things you'll do for gains, like, you know, pretty decently plain, like, food. And I'm like, I can't do chicken breasts on a good day. They're just too dry, too dry. I mean, like, I do know some ways to make it more moist, but it's like the same thing. I'm like, no. No, thank you. All right. There we go. I'm loading up the game, and when you load up the save options, there's wolves howling. I'm like, oh great. We about to get eaten, my dude. Hi, Luna. Welcome in. Let's get this. Going once, going twice. There we go. Resize it. Chat's over there. Chat's fine. Alright, here we go. More happy, crazy, fun time. And yes, it looks like things are misaligned, but no, this is just straight up how the game is. Some of the stuff they just decide to justify everything. And I'm like, this is throwing me off. But it is resized, so who are we to argue? So yeah, we just got what's the word I'm looking for? We're in the process of trying to fix Hadaraki's bike so he can leave town. Considering the mist seems like it's about to roll in, I don't think we're getting out of there before the bad stuff starts, so rest in peace. Juggling update. Oh, nice! Look at you. You kept at it despite the embarrassment. Good on you. Alright. There we go. So, for those who missed it last time, this is kind of a visual novel in a similar vein as Higurashi. You know, outsider comes to mountain town. Things are very, very weird there. And then, you know, killings are gonna start blah, in accordance with local customs. Blah, 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 blah. And so we walked up the hill and arrived at the so-called Nosato mansion. From what I could tell, it was located at the highest point in the settlement. And, like TME said, it was definitely a hell of a building. It had an elegant Western design, which would probably look even better if the place were better maintained. Also, yes, there's no sound right now. Before anyone says anything, I did not forget to turn anything on. There's just straight up no sound in the game right now. The yard was overgrown, and the building itself was pretty much buried in ivy and small trees. If someone told me it was cursed, I'd instantly believe them. Did people actually live here? Wonder if the intercom works. You guys have intercoms here? Damn, that's fancy considering, you know, There's only one single telephone in this whole village, and it's a black rotary phone. She pressed a button next to the aged iron gate. Hi, Velmo! Yasumizu was a quiet place, so I could easily hear the bell ring inside. Should we try again? Let's not. We'll piss him off. Moody guy, huh? Moody? Yeah, that's pretty accurate. I wasn't sure what she meant, but I opted to just wait rather than ask more questions. Soon enough, the person in question walked out of the mansion. What is it? Who are you? He wasn't young, but he didn't look middle-aged either. He certainly looked high-strung, that much was sure. Hello, Nosato-san. It's Serizawa. Damn. I know you, Chiemi Serizawa. I'm asking the young man with you. Haruaki-san, this is Kiyonosuke Nosato-san. Kiyonosuke-san, this is Haruaki Fusaishi. He got into an accident. That introduction was the briefest one yet. I explained the situation again. He furrowed his brow when I mentioned the Saranaga, in addition to the reason we were here. So I need repair tools so I can get out of here as soon as possible. Are the tires tubeless? Huh? I have patches, but I think fixing tubeless tires would be a bit too much for an amateur. Though there's no problem if you aren't. Why'd you have to add that bit in? Oh, but if the tube bursts, you have no choice but to change it. I don't have any spares here, obviously, and I wouldn't give them if I did. Sorry, but I'm not too knowledgeable about that. What a waste of time. I recommend spending however many thousands you need to have repairmen come and pick you up. Oh, I had no retort to that. Oh, but Nosato-san, I don't think we can have any more outsiders come here right now. Huh? Haven't you been to a proper city? Don't tell me you still believe that nonsense. I'd be fine with it. But I doubt the elders would be. We've had too many visitors these past few days. You're really calling them peasants, huh? I don't care what you Yasumizu peasants think. What do you expect me to do anyway? Fix the tires myself and get oil all over me? Oh, he's the head of the village. No wonder he's... Oh, I'd never suggest that. I just think that a Fujiyoshi village head should help a troubled visitor. What the hell? Huh, how about instead of relying on me only when it's convenient, you just give him a traditional Yasumizu welcome, you know, throw him off the cliff. Whoa, what the hell? Come on, you can't say that. Jimmy's tone was slightly off. I could feel a bit of irritation behind her words. I know it might be a bother, but can you at least lend me the tools? I'll just borrow them. You won't hear or see me work. I can even pay. Ba 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 ba. I hope this guy dies quickly. Byakuya seemed so nice compared to this guy. My god. Well, I don't mind that much, but I'll want compensation for anything you break, student or not. I'll have you act proper. Then he pointed me to the garage and walked back to the mansion. Man, I thought we were screwed there. What the hell's a burst tube? Whoa, that's so lame. What, you think every biker can fix a bike by just bashing it with a wrench or something? I don't know, but aren't there a lot of girls who are into guys good with cars and stuff? Oh, so you're into no Satoshi? Nope. He's just acting like he's smart. He's probably never repaired a thing in his life. Guy's not nearly as experienced as he'd have you think. Huh? Then why does he have this stuff? The Nosato Mansion is basically the Yasumizu branch of the Nosato family. Their main mansion is in Kamifujiyoshi. Whatever they don't need there, they just send over here. Wow. Imagine being rich and useless. Crazy. I heard Kiyonosuke-san was given a car 5 or 6 years ago, but he couldn't drive it at all, so it's just been gathering dust ever since. Damn, that was the countryside for you. Couldn't hide your shame if your life depended on it. Anyway, I now knew that the man was the condescending, pretentious type. He still helped me out though, and it was true I didn't know much about bike repairs, so I couldn't really get mad. Anyway, let's just take everything that looks like it could be useful. I mean, okay, look. Obviously, motorcycles are not the same as bicycles. But at least you would start there, I imagine. Like, a flat tire is a flat tire. No matter where, no matter what kind it is, just, yeah, bike tires are the tubes, generally. Car tires, not so much, but still. Like bandits, huh? I'm in. Sure I'm not bothering you? I'd feel down without anyone to talk to. Just keep chatting with me. It helps. The instructions that came with the repair kit told me that my bike's tires were a rather difficult type to repair. It came with instructions! Well, there you go. Well, well, well. All that griping for nothing. The instructions that came with the repair kit told me my bike's tires were a rather difficult type to repair. Apparently I had to remove the tires, but where did I even start with that? Well, first take the wheel off the bike. Bow, bow. Well, as long as I did break it, nothing I did could be worse than having to call road service down here, so I just tried taking it apart. But as I removed whatever nuts I could, I made the situation even worse than it was. How? Yeah, this really wasn't a job for an amateur. You seem to be having a rough time. You can eat this too, Chiemi-chan. This dude's an asshole? He sure is. Well, this looks serious, man. Machines are just no good. Hey, the benefits of culture are great as long as they don't break. No wonder why his girl left, yeah. We don't know why she left yet, but whatever it was enough. He got so pissed off, he just decided to drive it to the mountains. I mean, we can guess for sure. I mean, he's showing us that's for sure, yeah. And I mean, that's the thing, right? Sometimes people will be like, wow, you guys broke up over such, like, a petty argument. And it's like, by the time, if people break up over a petty argument, by that point, it was never about whatever the argument was about. At that point, like, everything had just culminated, and that was the boiling point. Like, if someone dumped you because you didn't come to their get-together or whatever, it's because you've been an asshole on top of all of that. It was everything but the fact that you came. Think you can fix it for sundown? That might be hard. Don't worry, though. Worst comes to worst, I'll do something. I really appreciated how she handled the visitors in my stead. Hey, Chienne, is it hard to get a bike license? I don't know. I know that scooter licenses are easy. I have one myself. Mid-sized bike licenses are pretty hard to get. You even need to take a course, just like with cars. You like bikes? Well, frick you too. How much was that anyway? 800,000 yen, brand new. So like about $8,000, which makes sense. I love being able to understand the extra little nuances, because, like, the translation is accurate, but more literally, he's like, oh, more. He's like, that's high! It's like, high? How high? That high? You stupid, that's so high! Still cheaper than a car. Like, I don't know what to tell you, bro. Part-time jobs and all that? You know, saving? And you got it into an accident. Poor Haruaki-san. Chiemi-sensei, if I may, what happened to my share of the food? Ah! Oh no, I ate it all! Poor Haruaki-san. I didn't want sympathy from the one responsible. As I told her off for not leaving me any food, I somehow removed the tires. Hey, good job! I could only hope I'd be able to fix this up. I'd had this thing for less than a month, but the trouble it was putting me through made it feel somewhat dear to me. I wanted to fire it up again and make it go as fast as I could, and then get into another accident. Suddenly, I heard an engine. It felt like it was mocking me. Hold on, an engine? Here? I stopped working and turned around to see an unfamiliar van drive into the plaza. Barring the classic-looking piece of junk in Osato's garage, this was the first time I'd seen a car here. As far as I knew, no one living here actually owned a running car, so... These are the journalists I told you about. I knew it. Once the van stopped, a lady stepped out of it. Oh! She's pretty. Good grief, Haruaki. Hello! I'll be bothering you again today. You're a new face. Hello, my name's Haruaki by Crash. Don't be so hard on yourself. Crap. That was no time for an inside joke. I quickly introduced myself properly. I crashed not too far away, so I'm stuck here for the time being. I see. So you're a student. Sorry about the trouble you're going through. Oh, and this is me. The woman gave me her business card. Hisako Mamiya, a freelance writer. Her pen name was Kyuko Hose. Have you ever read Kyuko Hose's articles? Sorry. Figured. I'm not a big name yet, and the magazines I do get printed in are marketed for housewives and the elderly. That's some pretty intense competition. What do you write anyway? So you came here to write food reviews? No, that sounds suspicious. That's suspicious. Oh hey, it's the Hima Misuwa canned meat incident. Like the foulest smelling canned food in the world or something? Yep, well, you use their old brand of weirdness doesn't attract much attention these days, so... I'm looking for minor culinary oddities local to Japan. Anyway, if you know any weird dishes from your hometown, do tell me. I drive the length of Japan to give it a try. Damn. Now that's That's a really dumb thing to do. A student from the lab I frequented once made pork miso soup with a mushroom he found on campus. We had mass hallucinations and... No flashes of brilliance or poisons, please. As we chatted, I became curious. By the way, weren't there two of you? She missed out on a great story. It's certainly something, yeah. Yes, I'm here with a partner. He just needs... Oh, there he is. I looked at the van and became completely awestruck. It felt like the van had shed its skin or something? That made no sense, but seriously, how did this fit in there? Oh, he's a big dude. He was gargantuan. Takumi-san was something else, but this man was on a level of a foreign heavyweight wrestler. Though unlike Takumi-san, this man was primarily fat rather than muscle. Well, that's rude. As he walked out of the driver's seat, the van shook wildly. Oh, God. I mean... Ouch, yeah. I mean, from what I've seen of, like, domestic Japanese cars, they are quite small. So, yeah, this guy must have a hell of a time. Yudai Hashimoto-san, a photographer. He's way more famous than me. He works in all sorts of fields. I imagine you've seen some of his photos without even knowing it. And he came with you to the middle of nowhere to take pictures as you try weird local foods. I don't really believe you're here for what you say you are, ma'am. I didn't know much about photography, but I was definitely convinced. There was a certain kind of authority or gravity around him. You mean like the kind where a planet pulls random astral bodies out of their orbit and into its orbit kind of thing? He wasn't saying a word, and I couldn't tell what he was thinking. Nice to meet you. I'm Haruaki Fusaishi. Was he even alive? TD roasting? I'm sorry. Look, it is what it is. He has quite the presence, whether or not that's because of muscle or fat or whatever else. Domo. Hello. After a strange pause, he slowly bowed like the moving mountain he was, and greeted me with a voice like a titan. He seemed somewhat difficult to interact with. I'll remain silent on this one? Wow. This is your last day here, isn't it? Yes, Oribe-san said she'd let me try her prize shishinare. Huh, I don't know if an outsider can handle it. What's shishinare? I have my stomach medicine, I'm sure I'll be fine. Oh boy. What is shishinare? If I know my weird Japanese foods, sometimes the names can totally belie what the heck it is. Nah. Nope. That's shishibare. Nah. Eh? Looks like it's just something they made up for this game. Closest thing that popped up is Shimo Tsukade, which is a type of... Let's see. Usually made by simmering salmon head, vegetables, soybean aburage, deep fried tofu skins, and sake kasu, rice pulp. I see. I guess that's probably the closest we're gonna get. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. We're in local dish made up for this game, which I guess makes sense. If I could see the kanji for Shishinare, I might be able to glean some clues from it, but we'll just imagine it's some crazy mushroom tofu thing or something. And so Mamiya-shi and Hashimoto-shi walked off to the dining hall. Why is he using she, though? Like, she is an honorific. But yeah, it's not one you see that often. Is a Japanese honorific used to refer to someone the speaker is unfamiliar with, typically used in formal writing and speech, such as legal documents and academic journals. Okay, that's what I thought. It's definitely not something a student would use. Interesting. We might be dealing with an unreliable narrator here. AKA Haruaki might not be what he says he is. Who would have thought that such a beauty was a delicacy, Hunter? I had to admit, that gap was kind of charming. As intrigued as I was, I couldn't waste any more time. I had to fix my bike already. Oh my, hello. Whoa. A lot of things that surprised me here in Yasumizu, but nothing as much as this.
Moshi.
Hello? No reaction. At first glance, he looked like a poor man, too senile to think and perceive properly. You need something from me? I made sure to speak as clearly as possible. It didn't look like he understood. I figured it was best to just ignore him and resume the repairs, but... Delightful. Coming. I looked at him again. He was still just standing there like his soul and brain had left his body. A vacant stare, yellowed eyes, half-open mouth covered in saliva. Coming, he spoke again. What's coming? What? His voice was too hoarse to make out. Come again? I placed my hand against my ear. He finally understood what I wanted and prepared to whisper something. I brought my ear closer and... You might want to do something about your eyes, sir. The sudden shout caught me completely off guard and made me fall to the ground. And where's Chiemi, huh? He looked down at me, laughing. He clapped and opened his half-toothless mouth into a wide smile. Nice guy. He bent his body in a weird way, laughing like he was convulsing, turned around, and just left. Haruaki-san! Oh, I'm too late. Chiemi had joined the journalists and only just came back. Late for what? Grams over there loves messing around with strangers like that. Wait, that's your grandpa? No. I don't even know his name. He's been in Yasumitsu forever, and he's always like that. To be in a town that, like... you can't even call it a town or a village. To be in a cult this small and not know someone's name, that's very weird. It felt less like he was just messing around and more like he's a bit touched. Yeah, it's literally like... It's like a neighborhood. Like, that's it. It's 4 houses. Yep, everyone calls him the old man who cried wolf. Named after the boy who cried wolf, I assume? Doesn't work as well, though. Wolves, huh? As far as I knew, there were no wild wolves in Japan. There used to be, but after the last sighting in either the Meiji or Showa era, they've been considered extinct here. So, Meiji was the late 1800s. Showa was... Was that the 40s to the 70s? Because they have because in Japan, they do different eras based on who's the emperor at the time. So there was Meiji... Keijo, I think, was after Meiji. Then Taisho, which is where Demon Slayer took place. No, Keijo is before Meiji. No, wait, either way. After Meiji, there might be another one, because there were a bunch of eras where they were like just a few years. Then you get Taisho, and then I think after, which was like 1910 to like 1920 or something like that. And then yeah, you get the Showa era, which is until roughly the 70s, I think. And then you get the Heisei, which is more modern, up until Reiwa, which is... That just started around COVID time. So there's your introduction to... There's your crash course on the modern Japanese eras. Even the boy who cried wolf was a Western tale. Did his brand of insanity make him repeat the tale or something? A bit weirded out by the circumstances, I went back to repairing my bike. After a bit more time, I took off the rubber from the tires and removed the tubes. Both tires were pierced by some really rusty nails. In the middle of nowhere? Oh, that sounds intentional. Because unless there were rusty nails on that path, and that's what made him lose control of his bike and fall over, someone went and busted his bike after the fact. That's when you just leave, literally. Then I applied the patches and filled them with air using a manual pump. Because, like, that's the thing, right? Having one flat tire? Not that unusual. Both? That's sus. Even on a car, having two flat tires at once is pretty suspicious. Then I applied the patches and filled them with air using a manual pump. I wet the tubes. There were no bubbles, meaning no air was leaving them. Things were looking good. After the high schoolers came by from school and passed by, no one else stopped to talk. Chiemi was looking a bit bored now. I think I got it. Seriously? But it all seems so hopeless. Well, sorry. Though I still need to rebuild this. That's gonna be a lot of work. And you'll be able to leave then? Yeah, believe me, I know I shouldn't stay here alone. I can take a hint. That's great. She didn't seem to care that much. Guess I had no chance with her, huh? You've been at this for hours. How are you holding up? Need a break? Well, I'd be better if a certain someone didn't take away my lunch break. Hey, I gave you some crackers, didn't I? Like that was enough to sate a guy in his mid-20s. Still, I'm pretty fine. I'll push forward a bit more. You can go if you want. I've been introduced to just about everyone here. There's 2 people you haven't met yet. Really? Well, there was no real need to, right? I'll stay around a bit longer. I came back here because I was bored, and it's not like I'm busy. Couldn't you play around with your 52 guy friends? I take it back. I came back because I wanted to be bored. Living in the city is so annoying and tiring, especially with 52 guys texting you all the time. Uh-huh. Sorry, I lied about the 52 guys. Why? Because I wanted to keep you in check, I guess? Why would she pull a tactic like that only to reveal her hand? Oh, here we go. Backstory. Oh, so ad break in about 40 seconds. So, just as an FYI, folks. Hey, did you really get dumped by your girlfriend? And now she asked me that. I did. Honest. I see. Well, after that relentless assault, it wouldn't be fair unless I played my own card. Wanna come with? Huh? It's a 2-seater? Yeah, there's even an extra helmet. It's not dry yet, though. I'm obviously leaving soon, so unless you have something planned, you can join me. We can even go on a bike tour. If we have enough time, I can take you anywhere. Flexible, open to fine-tuning, wild and charming. This was a good date invitation if I said so myself. That sounds great. And I have no plans. Oh? I'll go get my stuff then. Jamie smiled and turned around to head to her place. She then looked back at me and... You should hurry before I change my mind. Yup, sure. Well, that made me motivated. Let's go! This was one tiring trip, but at least I met someone good along the way. I do not think this relationship would last very long, though. They're a bit too casual about everything, but then again, if that's all they want, then that's fine. I just forget everything I didn't want to remember while on the road with her. I could only hope that clever girl and I would eventually grow closer. With that ulterior motive in mind, I resumed rebuilding the bike. Woof, after several failed attempts, I was finally making some good progress putting the bike back together. Afternoon had passed, and it was almost evening. At the rate I was going, I'd definitely be working while it was dark. Would that even be possible? It might be way past midnight by the time I was done. Jamie might dump me for that. Man, life sure was hard. I mean, you can't get dumped if you're not even dating. The plaza I'd worked in was now totally empty. There was no one around. All I could hear was the wind, the frogs, and the tools in my hand. It was desolate, to say the least. I suddenly felt really weak. It made me keenly aware of being in a place I didn't belong, and that I was preparing to escape. It was an oppressive atmosphere, like the bars of a cage were slowly swinging shut. What's this, Haruaki? Think you're gonna get attacked or something? I tried to laugh it off, but it didn't work. As I became more conscious of my surroundings, I began to hear things I hadn't noticed before. I heard a voice. Someone was singing. It was an inarticulate little girl's voice. I stopped my work. Before I knew it, I'd put my tools down and gone looking for the source. So that's always a bad idea. Was I that starved for human presence? Or did the malaise make me feel like I was in danger? I walked down the hill to where the song came from. Passing the tall grass, I arrived. It was a strange sight. The field was covered in tall grass. Not creepy at all, not at all. There were countless rocks peeking out of it. Unlike the boulders all over Yasumizu, these were only up to my waist. They looked like gravestones. Okay. The field extended into the dusky western sky before ending at a cliff. Ah, yes, the cliff that, like most people, get thrown off of icy. This was the lowest spot in Yasumizu, the border to Saranaga. There was a large pine right at the edge. The what now? The evening sun, the stones, and the pine shadow gave the field a strange aura. A little girl was running through it. Her steps were awkward. At this moment, the space was alien. I felt like I was looking at a Giorgio de Chirico painting. The place felt like it didn't belong in this world. Well, he knows his artists, I guess. Suddenly, I came to understand that this place was special. It was a sacred, mystical ground where no outsiders were welcome. The girl fell. Are you okay? Oh, hey! Thank you for the rado. Much appreciated. Da 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 da. Hello, hello. Welcome in. We are playing a strange but wonderful visual novel called Raging Loop. Stress be gone potion. Very nice. I run to with no hesitation the little girl. What is going on? Is this a glitch? Enjoy playing werewolves? Well, this is the very first pass, so there has been no werewolves yet. I run to with no hesitation the little girl. That's a little strange. Maybe in future replays this becomes a branching path. Bah. Help up, half crying girl, muddy clothes, new crazy. What is happening here? Why is the dialogue like this? I console little girl, push away, run? Huh? Someone? Appears girl saw once me? Okay. Bros lost it? It is very strange. You did enjoy it, though. That's good. Yeah, some other people I know whose taste I really respect also enjoyed this game, so I figured I'd give it a go. It was on sale, so... Prepare for the feast when the evening mists arrive. Girl, weave, incomprehensible phrase, hide behind little girl, fear hostilities, eyes, oh god. What is happening to him? Run. Girl, hug, little girl, warn me? You probably won't make it, but run. It's like instructions for an old text-based game? You're right, it does kind of feel like that. But run. Me, girl, behind? Me, girl, behind, mist. Mist, mist. Me, girl, behind, mist, 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 mist. Mist, 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 mist. Me, girl, behind, mist, 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 mist. Mist, 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 mist. Well, I saw the Stephen King movie. I know what happens when there's mist. Me. Turn around. Run. Where? Oh, here we go! The music's gone weird. Yeah! That's the best way to find games. I can't tell you anything about it, but it's the kind of game I play. Say no more. Pretty much, yeah. The acquaintance in question plays a lot of visual novels and stuff, and they would share they would make different threads for the games they were playing, and they'd share select commentary on it, and I really liked what I heard about Raging Loop, so I'd been meaning to try it forever, and one of my streaming goals for 2025 was to stream more visual novels, and it just so happened that I saw this was on sale, and I'm like, you know what? It's time. Let's do it. In a daze, I came back to the plaza. Suddenly, Tianmi shook me, bringing me back to my senses. Where were you? Sorry. I'll finish the job now. It's too late, you idiot! You won't make it in time! You gotta hide! Nostia? Oh! Yeah, I've been recommended the Nostia ones a few times. I'll definitely have to try them at some point. Because, yeah, as much as I love, like, my Ren-ai, like, romance visual novels, it's nice to see, it's nice to play some of, like, the crazy ones as well. Related to that, there's a whole bunch of visual novels coming out on Valentine's Day, because of course there is. F my life, no time, so many games. It's too late, you idiot! You won't make it in time, you've gotta hide! I couldn't understand what she was getting at. What are you doing? Go to your room right now! But Haruaki-san's! Never end up finding any Ren-ai ones. I always end up with the Denpa horror ones. Understandable. I do enjoy the Ren-ai ones, but yeah, I find with the Ren-ai ones, the quality can be really hit or miss based on the characters. Versus the Denpa horror ones, the story really carries it, so... Forget the outsider. Old man Kanzo and I'll check the other places. Stop wasting time and go back to yours. I couldn't understand. What were these two doing? What scared them so much? It didn't take long for me to find out. I looked down the hill from Saranaga beyond the field I'd just been in. Came a rising haze. It was so dense you could easily call it mist. It moved strangely, like a living creature as it flowed into the plaza. Aw, thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. It moved strangely, like a living creature as it flowed into the plaza. Haruaki-san, over here! Tiemi pulled me by the hand. What's going on? Oh, my head feels like it weighs a ton. You clearly have good taste, so well earned. Oh, well, thank you. That's always nice to hear, and it's always nice to meet fellow, visual novel enjoyers. You'll die if you don't. What do you mean? Tell me. Please don't ask questions. It's just do as I say, just this once. Albeit hesitantly, I did as she said. We ran up the hill and crossed a rice field path until we made it to a simple outhouse. This should be fine. Seriously. What's going on? And sure, that was a hell of a mist, but this won't protect me, right? Listen, there's no time to explain, so please, just do what I say, and only that. Get in there, lock yourself in, stay inside the whole night, and don't make a sound. My mind was pretty clear by this point, so much so that I began to wonder why it was clouded until now. Because of that, I could easily understand exactly what Chiemi had just said, despite how weird it was. I could also see she was really desperate. Oh, hey! They're like, you want to make a bad choice? Too bad, not yet. You haven't earned that yet. Okay, hide in the outhouse, our only option. Huh. Now that's a hell of an order. Pull out the silver bullet, literally. Haruaki-san? Just so you know, pulling that off is pretty hard. When I do, I'd like a good reward and an explanation. Sure, I'll tell you everything. So please, survive the night. The words, the teary smile, none of it looked fake. See ya, then. You gotta hurry, right? Why can't he go with her? I'm like, She gonna be dead tomorrow morning? No! I mean, you're right. But yeah, play a mix of VNs and puzzle games? Nice! Yeah, I play VNs, like adventure games that are sort of visual novel adjacent, like Ace Attorney, Danganronpa. Play some straight up JRPGs. We went through all of the Zero Escape series as well. Isomnium. See ya then. You gotta hurry, right? I mean, yeah, it's a good chance either she'll be dead or he's the one who's gonna die, and that's how we find out we can loop like Subaru. You're actually really into this? See? Visual novels are great. That was one of my goals as a streamer, is to introduce people to stuff they wouldn't usually try, because VNs are great. But understandably, books and reading aren't everyone's thing. But if you want interesting stories, VNs have so many. See ya then. You gotta hurry, right? Yep. Haruaki-san? What? I'll tell you tomorrow. Leaving me one hell of a homework assignment. Chiemi ran off. The plaza was covered in the mist by now. I could see it rising to take over the fields too. Here are the games none of y'all have time to play but should experience anyway. Oh, for sure. During October, we did end up finishing the game. At some point I'll go back, but we were playing Iwaihime in October. Now that was an interesting one. That's like one of Ryukishi Nana's newer VNs, and I'm like, what? This... Someday we'll go back to suffer. We will. It's funny, because just the fact that, like, you know, suddenly it felt like... It stopped feeling like a horror game, and it felt like a normal teenage experience. I was like, I don't have it in me to ruin this. We needed a recovery time. Oh, we did. That game was great, but a lot to go through in a month. VNs are great, but you're limited on time. Oh, yeah. And I mean, the Renai ones, like the dating sims, where you have, like, a path for, like, you know, each of the 8 girls or whatever, they take forever to get through, even though, like, they're some of the most well-known ones. So, yeah, understandable. The plaza was covered in the mist by now. I could see it rising to take over the fields, too. Anyway, a promise was a promise. The letter? Oh. Do I know that one? It sounds vaguely familiar. I'll have to double check, so don't quote me on it. Unfortunately, there are a lot of, for better or worse, there are a lot of VNs that have very similar concepts. So sometimes you're like, did I play that one? And then I go look it up. It's like, no, actually, never mind. And it's like, you can't describe the plot of the VN because then you ruin the whole point of playing a VN. 10 minutes later, I began to wonder what I was doing. Rest in peace. Imagine trapping yourself in an outhouse all night. The smell, like, ah! It does have the most generic name, sadly, yeah. Unfortunately, it is what it is. Was I really supposed to spend the night here? This outhouse wasn't like a prefab you'd find at a construction site. It was just a shack built by hand. And merely happened to have a toilet unit installed. It was Japanese style, so I couldn't even sit down. Oh, yeah, the frickin', like, it's the kind where you have to squat down. Rip. All I could do was stand. I mean, you could probably sit on the ground. Oh no, yeah, another problem. It was the type of toilet that periodically had to be pumped empty, so the smell was really bad. Yeah, I was kind of expecting that. Oof. Sure, there was a cover on the toilet unit, but without any kind of air freshener anywhere, the smell of ammonia could only do so much. The only good thing about being here was that if I had to go to the toilet, well, mission complete. But what of it? Again, was I really supposed to spend the night here? The only one who sleeps on the floor, apparently. A night in an outhouse, how lovely. Truly. Again, why couldn't she bring him back to her place if he had to, like, hide somewhere? Was there not, like, any empty apartments in that, like... Because that's, like, a student dorm thing that she lives in. Are there not any empty units? You can't tell me that there's enough students in that village to fill an entire boarding house. The question... She's just fucking with him, apparently. That is a possibility. She did tell us, he did guess right up front that she's the serial killer, so here we are. The question quickly made me realize how stupid this was, and I began making assumptions to make this easier for myself. Was I being pranked? Or was everyone here just crazy? Hell, the mist had already filled the surroundings, and there was no way that this shabby outhouse protected me from it. The air here already felt misty and damp. The temperature here was low, so I could still bear it somewhat, but staying here all night would make me all wet. Again, I wasn't safe from the mist here. That considered, I'd probably be better sleeping off in the grass outside than staying here. No, Haruaki, it's not the mist you need to be saved from, it's whatever's in the mist. Have you never read Stephen King? Come on now. The reasonable part of my mind urged me to stop playing along with these hicks. However... Also, has he never watched Jurassic Park? Hiding in an outhouse... If you hide in an outhouse, you're always the first to go. My sense of duty made it hard for me to break the promise I made to her. Your sense of duty? You mean the hormones. Has he learned nothing from his camping experience? Absolutely not. Actually, that wasn't quite true. I was more intrigued by the prospect of learning more about this place. This guy just ignores every single red flag on the planet. Bro thinks he's a detective. It's like, anyway, might as well conclude today by compiling all my findings. Anyway, I took the time to compile what I'd found out today. This was the Yasumizu settlement, a special part of Fujiyoshi. It was situated right next to the Saranaga Rapids. The people living here were Chiemi Serizawa, Yasunaga Oribe, his family, Kaori Oribe and Yoshitsugu Oribe, Chikamochi Kamoshida, Haru Makishima, her granddad, Kanzo Makishima, Tae Yamawaki, Takumi Muro, Kiyonosuke no Sato. It seemed like he was from Kami Fujiyoshi, the place on the other side of the mountain, but for some reason, he lived here now. And finally, the old man who cried wolf. Interesting how only the Oribes are a family. Everyone else are just like, single people. So are people banished to Yasumizu? Or was there more people and just, the mist periodically picks them off and now this is all that's left? Those were the 11 people I met, and Chiemi said I had 2 more left. That could only mean that the 2 I met by that pine were the ones. A little girl. She was probably the child that strayed into Saranaga yesterday morning. And then there was the fantastical-looking white-haired woman clad in strange clothing. She was probably the one I'd seen in the morning. The fact I'd seen her twice made it likely that she was indeed real. But with how mysterious this place was, I couldn't rule out the possibility that she was an illusion. According to Chiemi, the little girl was being looked after by someone in the village, so I could only assume that the white-haired woman was the one. If I counted the little girl, it would mean that Yasumizu had 13 inhabitants. Then there were the 2 journalists, Hisako Mamiya and Yudai Hashimoto. Add me to that, and you had a total of 3 outsiders. But I'd put that aside for now. Anyway, time for an assessment. Yay! Yesterday morning, a little girl strayed into Saranaga. To make it worse, no one, not even herself, knew anything about her. She instantly got branded as an ill omen. The next day, Chiemi, who was in Saranaga for some reason, found me there. They recognized me as a proper lost person, but since I came through Saranaga, I was also branded as an ill omen. From what Kiyonosuke no Satoshi said, it was safe to assume that it used to be customary to throw people like us into Saranaga. And then, there was the mist. The girl said something mysterious, prepare for the feast when the evening mist arrive. I can only assume it was related to the same superstitions. After all, the mist came from Saranaga itself. It and the river seemed to be central to the local customs and ideas. With that in mind, how was it dangerous? What was going to happen now? Yomi Bito, as in people from Yomi? The Japanese land of the dead? Dead people came back through Saranaga, and they were corrupted. Well, that gave room for some wild ideas. Was there some sort of pathogen in Saranaga that rose up with the mist? Did it turn people into zombies? Was I about to be part of a Japanese Resident Evil? Resident Evil's already Japanese. What are you talking about? Wait, that was already Japanese. Yeah, there we go. Though I think Siren would be closer to what's happening right here. What if you had a 10% chance to be infected by the mist, but a 100% chance to be infected by another person? That'd explain why everyone had to isolate themselves like that. Yeah, just make sure the mist doesn't get into, any open wounds. If I became a zombie, I probably wouldn't have the mind to unlock the door. So basically, by locking myself in here, I was quarantining myself. I hadn't put all that much thought into it, but that seemed like a good story. Sure, stuff like the boulders and the wolves didn't fit anywhere into my idea, but it was still interesting. Then again, I knew this was Hicksville and all, but would a superstition that science could explain so easily really survive the modern world? It seemed so weird. Don't make a sound? To be frank, the reason why I spent so much time on these delusions was because I was scared of things I didn't know or understand. A very human reaction. In the past, people used to attribute stuff like natural phenomenon and diseases to gods, devils, and yokai, and then do nothing but fear them. They were scared of these manifestations of monsters and whatnot. But on the other hand, it was better than not seeing or not knowing what they really were. The fact that you could die to things you couldn't see or understand made life really unreasonable and unfair. That was why it was very logical to give things names and mental images in order to recognize and memorize them. My fear of things I didn't know was the same, except I wasn't just satisfied with just labels or hypotheses. I needed to reach the truth. That aside, he's a man of science. He's gotta have the empirical evidence. What I was feeling right now wasn't a fear of the unknown. It was a realistic, practical fear of something that could endanger my life. He just really likes hearing the sound of her voice, huh? That meant that outside lurked something dangerous that could hear sounds. She literally said last night that she brought you inside even though you could have assaulted her because she would have felt bad leaving you to whatever is outside. So, That meant that outside lurked something dangerous that could hear sounds. Perhaps it was the so-called dead that rose up from the river. Or maybe, assuming I was right with my Saranaga sickness theory, it was people who came out and beat the shit out of all the disease who didn't follow the rules. What is this, Hinamizawa? This really is just Higurashi. Not quite, but very close. The Saranaga sickness thing is clearly a Higurashi reference, though. The wolf is coming. Maybe the wolf was the title given to the killer? It is very close, yeah. And I mean, this came after Higurashi, so inspiration would... See, I knew you had taste. Thanks. Maybe the wolf was the title given to the killer? Okie dokie. Well, someone's gone. I think that was Mamiya? Someone didn't listen to, the instructions to stay inside. But yeah, because Raging Loop was originally published in like the 2010s versus Higurashi was like, early 2000s. You actually went to the real village? That's cool. That's very nice. Suddenly I heard, oh my god! The game doesn't give me an option to be smart. We have to be stupid. We have to be stupid! Go out and take a look. This music is great, but 2015, gotcha. It kind of sounds like they mixed sirens into this. Wow, that was some timing. Right as I was about to form a new hypothesis. Proof connecting it all suddenly came to me, and it was right outside. It had gotten really dark. There were no lights anywhere. The darkness was fear. Unperceived equals unknown equals dangerous equals scary. The end. We gotta find out we can loop somehow, I suppose. Time to Subaru up this shit. Leaving this place was dangerous. Dangerous equals scary equals scary equals scary equals scary! Scary things were scary no matter how much logic you applied. But I couldn't discard my desire to get to know the fear and conquer it. I opened the door and stopped in place. Night wasn't absolute darkness. No matter how dark or cloudy it was, the sky always gave some bits of light to us. However, I came to understand that it could be hard to see even if there was light. Everything I saw was covered by a dense mist. Combined with the pale moonlight, it made the area seem milky. It made it hard to get around. Regardless, I couldn't ignore the scream. There was something beyond this veil. I kept moving forward. Unless my ears were deceiving me, the scream belonged to a woman and had come from the right. I couldn't let myself think that. Or rather, I didn't want to think that. The unknown was scary. Personally, I'd found that principle made my life really easy. I had more than enough fear from those which were directly threatening my life. I really didn't want to have the fear of losing someone as well. Change your line of thought, Haruaki. Solving the mystery might save someone. 2 birds with 1 stone. I began walking faster. I hope the VA were well paid for this, because Jesus, that actually scared me a little. Somebody gives these VAs a raise? Honestly, like, good. Like, damn. The VAs are insanely good? 1000%. And I mean, that's the thing, right? You wouldn't think screaming would be hard, but it's generally challenging to scream in a way that actually invokes emotions in other people. The opening is fantastic, I agree. I realized I had to find a way to protect myself. I was unarmed, so I looked for anything I could use as a weapon. Should have taken one of the wrenches from when you were repairing the bike. I felt around to see if there were any branches or anything. Yeah, they did! The anime cast are all phenomenal voice actors. Sadly, all I felt was grass. I went deeper and searched the ground itself. Soon I felt something hard. It was a rock. A moment of digging later, I took it in hand. It was a bit smaller than my hand. I almost teared up at how useless it seemed, but it was better than nothing. Damn. I swear they all hire VAs based on how well they can scream and or laugh, you know? Yeah, that seems about right. Especially if you're supposed to be in a horror game or a horror anime, like you need to have the chops. We all being in a horror movie is a lot of people's, like, you know, breakout rule. But it's hard to actually act in those and do well. There's a reason why there are so many, like, really corny horror movies out there. If the acting isn't on par, then it doesn't matter how good everything else is. I looked at the base of my feet and saw the grassy ground. I could easily move forward if I first checked the ground using my feet. And since I might have been close to the danger, I had to focus on what was ahead, too. I'd recognize the danger, and if possible, get rid of it. I concentrated entirely on that and stepped forward. I couldn't hear the screams anymore. Oh, that was something metal and flesh. Uh-oh. But I could hear other things. A wet sound. And the sound of something cracking. It filled my mind with countless things I didn't want to imagine. Even so, I kept walking forward. Forward. Until I saw it. Oh! My hypotheses were nothing but delusions. The truth was truly something you had to see yourself. But why? Why was this so scary in spite of being true? It wasn't supposed to exist. It couldn't exist. After all, it was a wolf with a humanoid body. I think, Takumi Niji-chan is a werewolf. Uh-oh. And there's no such thing as werewolves. Uh-oh. The next morning, in a paddy field in Fujiyoshi, Yasumizu, 3rd block, someone discovered a thoroughly mangled corpse. The clothes nearby... Oh, I knew it, yeah. The clothes nearby led the discoverers to conclude that it was the traveler, Haruaki Fusaishi. He's still moving! Strangely enough, I could perceive this particular moment. Wait, he's mangled? Like crazy? And apparently, he's still alive. And so Oh, and then they killed me in the end. I survived all of that, and so they killed me. I was finished off by the girl. The feast begins. The last thing I heard. I'll hang the wolf. Was that? Unveiled arrival. Ooh. Obtained key 2, werewolf and resurrection. The route unlocked by this key is represented by the same number on the scenario chart. Wakaru. Game over. Bad ending number 2. What? Hint corner? Okay, I'm curious about this. Because these were in Tsukihime as well and were freaking hilarious. I play Fate Grand Order. Don't trust sheep. Hey there, you done it now, huh, Chief? Me? Ah, don't mind me. I'm just an insignificant interface character. Alright. Alright, so we broke the fourth wall. Alright. Let's get down to business to defeat the Huns. Okie dokie. Okay. I mean, I figured as much. There were literally no other options. I mean, you only had one choice, right? Correct? Well, that's good to know, but does that give me bad ending 1? Because this is bad ending 2, so, you know... Okay. Mm-hmm. It's alright. I played Zero Escape. I know what's up. Naruhodo ne. Okay. I mean, it's good advice for this game, but it's hilarious to just think like, oh man, I can't figure out this puzzle. Let me get an axe and take it to my face. There are many keys lying within the story's bad endings. You can also obtain keys for some surprising outcomes. Get all the keys and finish the game without seeing all the bad endings. Fair enough. I tend to try and fill in the charts, but we'll see. Toilet Man's End! Toilet Man. Oh man. Yes, I did indeed notice. Thank you very much. I mean, was it not obvious you were gonna die by going out based on the screams, but okay, whatever.
この手の一度つまずく系の死亡エンドは今後も何回かあったらそこんとこは承知しといてくれな。
Okie dokie.
一方、キーを手に入れるのがずっと先になることもある。キーが手に入るときは赤文字ででっかく表示されるから今後も要注目だぜ。
Red letter is important. Got it.
この後だが久石春明は振り出しに戻る。つまりゲームの冒頭
You're sending us all the way back there?
最初から読み直してもいいが今後何十回も死ぬことになるからその度に読み直してたら大変だ。
And that's the chart, right?
だからある程度状況を把握したらシナリオチャートを使ってふっとジャンプしちゃってくれ。
Makes sense, makes sense. Also played Zero Escape and Isomnium and all of those. Wakaru? Konnichiwa! The first choice we had was, I think technically it was Chiami's quiz. Where she was like, oh, like, you know, why do you think I let you into my apartment? And like, you could choose, like, you're desperate, you're a good person, whatever. But apparently that's not like a real significant choice. You could open the menu, press the chart bar, and go to Q, follow the scream. And Densman, Stephen, right now. Use scenario chart to jump around. Aye aye. Incidentally, this marks the end of 2 Dense Mist. The so-called prologue is over. Ooh, nice. If you pick the choice that unlocked this time, the game's first main route, Yomi, will begin. Good luck! Next time you come across a locked choice, look to the right side. Yes, the keys are very obvious. The number appears on the scenario chart too and makes it clear what's locked and what key numbers you need. Here's a little tip. Hit me. You won't be getting key 1 for a long time. You didn't miss anything, so we're like, well, that's nice of them to tell. That took a while and I'm busy? Hey, you're the one who kept yapping. I just kept nodding. Well, that's enough for this time. Die another hearty death next time. One sheep? 2 sheep? Why is it always sheep? Because sheep are kind of messed up, yeah. There's always something a little odd about sheep. Alright, I'm just trying to... No, I wanted to get to a point where there was sound for when because I want to take a quick break and go to the bathroom and stuff. But alas. Alright, do detailed chart. Don't remember other world. 20. Interesting. Students dining hall lineup. Hide in outhouse. And then there we go. Follow the scream. Okie dokie. Alrighty. I will leave you guys here on this wonderful note. And I will be right back. I'm just going to run to the bathroom real quick. And then we'll keep on going. So hold tight for a sec. Alright, I'm back. Sorry to keep y'all waiting. Woo! I went and I got some hot lemon honey water. We'll snooze the ad break since I technically just took a break. Alright. Heard a scream in the distance. What are you gonna do, boy? I like how they put a skull there, just in case you forgot. Keep still. What was that? It sounded like someone's life was in danger. It meant something dangerous was nearby. Wait, I couldn't be rash. The world didn't have many things that logic couldn't explain, like the existence of murderers. But until I saw the source of the screen myself, it was nothing but a source of fear. Get in there, lock yourself in, stay inside the whole night, and don't make a sound. I reached to open the door, but something stayed my hand. It was my promise to Chiemi. But that scream just now was very real. It wasn't normal. I had to assume the situation was dangerous, and maybe I could help if I went out, but that meant endangering myself. I was no saint, and I had no plans to rectify that. If there was something that could get me to walk out, it would be curiosity. My curiosity had won over many dangers thus far. But right now, it was weaker than my fear and a risk of death. Why? Because I already knew. Shit, what the hell were these memories? It wasn't a premonition, a dream, or anything else that vague. My brain recognized it as something I'd experienced. But how? After all, I was still alive, and the time from those memories had yet to come. Was I a precog or something? By God, I swear I never experienced anything like this before coming here. Why did the memory come back to me at this particular moment? Regardless, that overwhelming fear and the pain and death that followed were exactly what waited for me if I opened the door. I couldn't feel more certain of that. The thoughts rendered me unable to move. Immobile, I stood still, completely certain that I'd lost my chance to leave. I wasn't childish enough to sneer at selfish decisions, but this still didn't feel good. Not to mention, I was upset at myself for not being able to act like me and just run out simply because I was curious. I did even feel saved until that moment. Oh! The thoughts rendered at 5 FPS, so it was hard to move. Yeah. Suddenly, the door began to shake. This place had a handle on the outside, and someone was pulling on it. There was a lock, sure, but there was only so much it could take before it broke. I prepared to pull on it from inside, but what would happen if I did? Whatever was outside would instantly know I was here. Even if I protected the door, the thing had lots of other ways of hurting me. But what if it didn't know about me and was just weirded out by this randomly locked toilet? What if I didn't show a hint of fear to what it was doing? Would it just leave? I chose to just wait and see. Once again, someone pulled the door, shaking the structure as a whole. I gulped down to scream and focused on the lock. Whoops. If it broke, it'd be over for me. Over. As in, I'd be dead. That was what that memory told me. I was powerless back then, and even more so now. Assuming I tried to fight back, what would work? I'd heard that teeth were the hardest part of the human body, so maybe I could bite? Yeah, I'd tear whatever it was apart with my teeth. Oh, sure, yeah. I'd bite it to death. I gathered my wits and killing intent. Grinding my teeth, I glared at the door. Well, thank you for the hydrate, thank you for the stretch, and you get him, boy. Yeah, you bite that wolf. How long had it been? The sound suddenly stopped. For all I knew, it might have been a ploy to make me drop my guard. I'd slowly count to 500. If nothing happened in that time, I'd assume it went away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There were no screams or attacks after that. But the silence around me improved my perception, and I heard strange noises every now and then. Breathing, growling, claws on the ground. Basically, I felt a beastly presence. So that thing actually existed here? Was it what the mist brought here from Saranaga? The wolf is coming. Did they all know about this? Shit, I couldn't learn anything in a place like this, and not knowing things scared me. Trusting my presence, or prescience, presence, or deja vu, or whatever it was, I chose to just stay quiet and wait. I'd find out everything tomorrow. I just had to make it through the night and then talk to Jemmy. And if it was something I couldn't solve, I'd just run away. Thankfully, my bike repairs were going well, but I'd be leaving even if I didn't work. I'd walk to Kami Fujiyoshi if I had to. Literally should have done that yesterday morning. Unlike Yasumizu, they might have had reliable means of transport. For now, I just had to stay awake and make it through the night. Hey, you lived. I never liked seeing night gradually turn brighter as the morning arrives. It always made me feel like shit, like I'd just done something harmful, both for my body and as a human being in general. I mean, mood, understandable. I found it natural to spend the night asleep and welcome the morning well rested and with a smile feeling called out. Oh boy, yeah. I never expected to feel so much gratitude for the morning light leaking through the door of an outhouse. It felt like the beast had been out and about the whole night. Naturally, the high humidity here had made my clothes all wet and sticky. It was unpleasant, but even trying to move them and make it more comfortable for me felt like a matter of life and death. Maybe it was a good thing I couldn't relax, but hell, it was exhausting in more ways than one. When I heard Chiemi shout Haruaki-san in the distance, I was so overcome with relief I almost fell to my knees. If this turned out to be a trick and I opened the door to see some wolf with a chewed collar in its mouth lunging for my throat, I'd just give up and let it have me at this point. With that in mind, I opened the door. I expected to see the same picturesque village I'd seen yesterday, so what I actually saw shocked me pretty hard. Damn, the mist is just gonna hang around then. Also, apologies for the ad break. We basically run out of snoozes, so. What was up with this thick mist? I couldn't see anything. It was like the entire area was consumed by it. Did someone line every inch of this place with dry ice or something? I could hear Chiemi, but not see her. Chiemi-chan, I'm here! Oh? I heard a wet sound and finally saw a silhouette within the mist. Are you okay? I'm stuck in the field! I walked up and saw exactly what I expected. Hey, Jambola! Thank you for the gifted sub! Woohoo! A girl struggling to free one of her legs stuck deep in the rice paddy. I see. Well, good luck. Hey, help me out! Oh, you can't do it yourself. Take my hand then and out you go! I tucked her hand and braced my legs. Apparently I'm the MVP of your heart. I don't know about that, but hey. That was enough to help her, but she lost her balance and... Headlock! This is a wrestling move! Despite how close we were now, this wasn't the least bit romantic. Anyway, I'm glad you're okay. I definitely remembered a time where I was far from alright, though. Yeah, I guess I am. I had no idea what that was about, so I didn't see any reason to mention it. I did feel like there was some beast outside. Chiemi's expression immediately darkened. She clearly knew what I was referring to. I have lots of questions, but right now, I'm more interested in the scream I heard than anything else. That was... Huh? You know what I mean? She fell silent, clearly uncomfortable. It was pretty ominous. This way. No point delaying the inevitable. Chiemi gave me her hand. I took it. But I didn't feel the least bit excited about this. Oh, come on. You get to hold her hand. No matter what the circumstances, that's nice. Hand holding's nice. Anytime someone lets me hold their hand, I try my hardest not to let go. Sometimes Iduna's cute and she'll hold my hand, and like when we're out at the mall or something like that. And then she's like, I need my hand back because I want to look at stuff. I'm like, no. You held my hand. You don't get it back. His mind still went there. There's still hope. There's still hope. She led me down the path to the school dorm. Oh, Fusaishi-san, you're okay. Benchomon!
ありがとう、温かい布団マン。君たちも無事。いや、はるちゃんは
Did she?
いえ、大丈夫です。まだ部屋なんですが、ちょっとショックが強かったみたいで。
Oh, she's fine. She suffered quite a shock, so she's taken a while to get dressed.
そうか。皆さん、僕より先に動いてたみたいだな。
I see. So the rest of you have already gotten a move on.
逆によく耐えれたな。寝てたの？
寝られるか。いつ出ていいかわからないから、ずっと起きて待ってたよ。
As if I could sleep. I had no idea when I could get out, so I just waited until I heard Chiami-chan's voice.
起きてたんですか？
Huh? You were awake? Yasunaga-kun made it sound like that was weird.
いや、あのトイレで寝てごらん。横になるどころか、座れもしないぜ。
You try sleeping in there, guy. You can't even sit, much less lie down.
いや、そうじゃなく、そうか。
No, that's not what I see. What, is the mist supposed to put you to sleep or something? I really hate it when people just trail off like that. It makes me way too curious.
ちなみに君たちはなぜここに？
Why are you here anyway?
はるちゃん待ちと見張りだよ。
Waiting for Haru-chan and keeping a lookout. A lookout?
状況がはっきりするまで現場に誰も近づかないように。
We're not letting anyone near the scene until the situation is clear. Scene? So someone actually...
見る？ベンジョマンの胃袋の強度試し。
Wanna see? It's a good way to test your stomach.
もち、あんまふざけるなよ。
Mochi, don't mess around like that.
ああ。
Yeah, I do. The invisible and unknown were way scarier than anything else. They're like, you want to see a corpse? It's pretty fucked up. He's like, hell yeah, I do. What a weirdo. The invisible and unknown were way scarier than anything else. Not to mention, I could already smell something foul. I lightly moved them aside and walked up to the so-called scene. I was fully expecting a more detailed CG than this, but I guess not. This is pretty messed up though. Like, it does look like they're 95% a puddle. There was a corpse. It was in such a horrible state it was hard to recognize it as human. I imagine this was what you would have gotten if you overturned a butcher's cart. That was how thoroughly the victim was disassembled. Also, the butcher would have had to deal in entrails. Enough of that comparison. Straining my eyes to look through the thick mist, I could actually make out some human parts within the vast sea of blood. Or mountain of death. Hands, torn clothing, hair. And a shoulder bag. How professional. She kept hold of her interviewing tools even while running for her life. Didn't do her odds of survival any favors, though. Despite the body's state, was it hard to tell that the victim was Hisako Mamiya, the small-time food journalist. That thing. Did it come to me once it was done murdering her?
これは
Ugh,
ひどい。
this is awful.
大丈夫？吐き気とか。
Are you okay? Feel nauseous or anything? Chanmi was standing a short distance away, looking at nothing in particular.
吐くものもないし。まあ、慣れてるんで。
I got nothing to puke and, well, I'm used to this.
春明さん、そっち系の学部だっけ？
Is that what you were studying in college?
まあ一応、医学系。
Well, I guess you could say that. So some kind of biology. Grad student, I guess. Adjacent to medical, maybe? whatever disciplines would make you used to seeing dismembered bodies and stuff like that.
すごい。検視とかできる？
Huh? Seriously? So you could do autopsies and stuff?
医学系ってのは医学部以外の類似学部生が見え張って使う表現さ。まあ、病理解剖なら何度か見たけど。
When asked if they study medicine, I guess you can say that is what students from similar departments say to make themselves look good. But I did see a few pathology analyses. I crouched down and put my hands together. Then, grimacing at the harrowing reek of blood, innards, and especially digested food. Oh my god, why did you have to say that? I brought my face closer. Perhaps I could learn something from this? I could, even if it wasn't much. This corpse wasn't split into pieces. The limbs were still connected, but they were folded in an unnatural way and looked really flattened. They were either crushed or bent with no regards to bones or muscle position. Then her whole body had been torn apart. The innards were particularly badly damaged. The words wolfed down felt like the best way to put it. I found it hard to describe. This wasn't my job, so there wasn't much I could tell about it without touching it.
何がどうなってるのかわからない程度には常軌を逸した傷だよね。
This is way beyond anything I've ever seen before. I can barely tell what happened here. I had an urge to add that this seemed inhuman, but I kept myself from saying that.
とにかくとっとと警察を呼んでプロに任せよう。
Anyway, we should call the police. Leave it to the pros. I said something any good citizen would, but for some reason, they didn't seem to agree.
春明さん、警察は来ないんだ。
Haruaki-san? The police won't come.
そんなことはないでしょ。
Why wouldn't they? I mean, someone died.
来ないんだ。
They won't.
じゃあ避難しよう。
Then let's evacuate.
それも無理なんだ。
That's not happening either.
どうして？バイクもあるし、この人たちが乗ってきた車だって。
Why? We have my bike and their van.
とにかく不採取さんで生存者は全員見つかったはずだから一度食堂に移動しましょう。
Yes, I know. Cat's meowing at me. Anyway, with Fusaishi-san, we now have all the survivors, so let's go to the dining hall.
はるちゃんは僕らが連れてくぞ。
We'll wait for Haru-chan.
そっちはお願い。
Yeah,
春明さん。
you do that. Let's go, Haruaki-san.
なあ、ちゃんと説明してくれないか。
Can I get an explanation?
悪いけど精神的に無理。自分で見て勝手に理解して。
Sorry, but I'm not in the mood. Figure it out for yourself. It was the first time Chiemi had acted so harsh with me. I was pretty irritated myself, but it must have been worse for them. They actually had info on what was happening here.
無神経だったよ。
Sorry. That was insensitive of me. Chiemi said nothing more and just silently walked off. I followed after her. When we reached the plaza, I instantly understood what she'd said about evacuating. The bike and the van were both completely destroyed. Oh no! After all that work! The latter was in a particularly bad state. The front window was broken, all four tires were flat, etc. My bike was on its side, its front fork was broken. Well, it was basically scrap metal now. There was a rock right next to it. Guess we had our weapon. Damn. And there were more remains inside the van. It looked like an enormous mountain of flesh and bone. Ugh. If I didn't know about Yudai Hashimoto-shi, I'd have assumed there were 2 or 3 corpses here.
Hashimoto-san?
Chemi slowly nodded. I now knew we'd lost not only 2 lives, but any means of transportation as well.
あれ見て。
Look there. She pointed at a wooden electrical pole. The line was dangling, torn apart, with no hope of repair.
よその電線は生きてるけど、食堂のは電話線ごとやられた。外には連絡できないよ。
The other power lines are fine, but the dining halls was destroyed, along with the telephone line. We can't contact the outside. I took out my own phone. It worked, but the battery was almost dead, and like before, it was out of range. The situation had become even harsher than before.
これも見て。
Look here, too. Chiemi walked a few steps away. I followed after. There was a large boulder. It was tall enough to reach an average roof, and there were drawings on it. A crimson symbol of some sort. What did it represent? At first, it looked like an incoherent mess of lines. However, I soon realized there was a pattern. It felt like the calling card of some street gang. From what I could tell, the basis was a warped diamond shape with a spiral inside. There were 2 of them. They seemed to be drawn in blood, but that wasn't nearly as disturbing as the bizarre shape.
狼が2匹、村に紛れ込んだ。
2 wolves have snuck into the village.
戦わなきゃいけない。
We have to fight. Chiemi made a quiet declaration. Apparently, the settlement had been invaded by something malicious, and it was intelligent enough to get rid of all means of escape or contacting help. I could understand that much, but it didn't make sense to me. This wasn't some isolated island. There was the cliff, sure, but you could still go down to Saranaga or go to Kami Fujiyoshi. I'd ask about that the next time I had the chance.
ごめん。
Sorry.
気が立っちゃってごめん。
Sorry, I got mad.
きついでしょうね。
It must be hard for you too.
まあ気にしないでいいよ。所詮僕はよそ者だ。
Don't worry about that. I'm just an outsider.
そんなの言わないで。
Don't say that.
ああ、言い方が悪かった。よそ者ゆえにルールがまだわからないから、
Oh,
もう少し静観するってこと。
poor choice of words. I mean, I'm an outsider who doesn't know the rules, so I'll just silently watch for the time being.
疲れちゃいるけど、多分普通の人よりは動揺はしてないと思うから、おとなしくしとこうってね。
I'm tired, but I think I'm less shaken by this than most people. So I figured it's best for me to stay cool.
きっと他のご年配方はもっと殺気立ってるだろうし。
I imagine even the elders here are more bothered by this.
春明さん、本当にただの大学院生？
Haruaki-san, are you really just some university graduate?
そうでなきゃ。
What else could I be?
なんか異様に落ち着いてない？まるでこういう室に慣れてるみたい。
I don't know. You seem way too calm about this, like you're used to situations like this.
多分大事な神経が何本か切れてるのさ。
He's actually become interesting, right? My nerves are pretty messed up, I guess. Like I said, last time or earlier today, I can't remember. I think Haruaki is what you would call an unreliable narrator. Just because he's our point of view doesn't mean he's any more trustworthy than anyone else. So just the same way he's not giving them all the information about himself, we don't know everything either. Because I noticed he calls people, like, he uses son and stuff. But when he's talking about people in his mind, he uses she. Which, as we saw where we looked it up, is usually used in reports and, like, literature and, like, law documentation and stuff like that. So it was like, yeah, that term of address doesn't seem like something a normal student would use. And he talked about being in a lab. One of his classmates made soup using a hallucinogenic mushroom. So there's some kind of weird science-y thing going on here if he is telling the truth about what he's in school for. Because, what's the word I'm looking for? Because he said, like, oh yeah, people usually ask, like, so are you, like, in medical school or something? And they'll say, like, something like that. So it's like, it's some kind of biology thing, obviously. But it's not medicine. Because, I mean, even if you were going to be a coroner or something, you still need to go to medical school, from my understanding. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff about him that doesn't really add up properly. The small dining hall was jam-packed with people. You. He survived. Good morning, though. I guess it's not very good considering what's going on. I'm sorry, I didn't prepare enough tea. Oh, it's okay. You did it, didn't ya? The younger Oribe boy menaced me. No, I didn't. Why would you think that? Yoshibo! What a nickname. You're the one who needs to shut it. Man, I hadn't expected to be treated this badly. I'm saying this ain't a matter for a brat like you. And you're bothering Kaori-san. And how about you actually, you know, wear a shirt for once? It's fine. We'll talk it out. Shinai the Almighty? Stop, Taiba. That's a bad omen. Where's the key to the meeting hall? I gave it to Uematsu-sama 2, maybe 3 days ago, said she'd fix the podium. Well, Missy? I'll go and get it. That was the woman. So she wasn't just an illusion. Uematsu-sama was her name, huh? I thought our eyes met for a second, but she just walked by me. Wait! Meiko-chan, wait here for a moment. That girl was here too. Deeper in, there was Kiyonosuke no Satoshi, clearly irritated by something. And not too far away, there was the old man who cried wolf, just like yesterday. It was hard to tell what he was looking at, let alone thinking. They were the only ones sitting, by the way. The others were all just idly standing around. Mom, everyone, we're back. Come in, Haru-chan. The 3 students were here. With them, the settlement's entire population had gathered. As for the outsiders, the journalists were dead, while I and the mysterious girl had survived. I didn't know the circumstances, but they probably had their reasons to be suspicious of me. Suddenly, Chiemi did something unexpected. Rikako-san, can you wait a moment? She stopped the girl who was about to go get some key. Each villager seemed to call her differently, so I didn't know what to call her myself. This is Haruaki Fusaishi-san. He crashed his bike and I met him at Saranaga. Oh. Hello. An introduction? Now? Why? This is Rikako Uematsu-san. Uematsu is made of the kanji for spin and end. Pretty rare, huh? Well, she's the current head of the Uematsu household, one of the chief families from Kami Fujiyoshi. Oh, so she was like a local celebrity, huh? Like Kiyonosuke Shinasato's family? And that's Meiko-chan. We only call her that because we don't know her real name. Ah, so she's Meiko because she only says meh. Like, she's bleeding like a sheep. Hello there. Nice to meet you. The girl they called Meiko trembled a bit and... Oh my. Sprinted through the crowd to hide behind Rikako Uematsu. So what do you want to say, Chiemi? I suggest not inviting Haruiki Fusaishi-san to the feast. I felt a wave of perplexion go through the room. Chi, that ain't how it works. The feast is there to help us decide if he's shady or not, right? Their expressions were stern, and their words harsh. No, I'm saying he doesn't even have the right to participate. What are you talking about? He's the shadiest of us all. Yoshi-kun, did you prepare for the feast? Yeah, I did. Who didn't? How was I supposed to react? No one else was raising their hand, but I had no idea what they were talking about. Me? Probably. I don't even know what that entails. The other 2 who did prepare for the feast were taken by the corruption. However, Haruaki-san wasn't. I think the Ookami-sama ignored him. Ookami-sama? As in wolf? Why the reference? What was she even talking about? He's from Saranaga, sure. But he clearly just passed by. In fact, I think he'd get in the way of the feast. No, for all we know, forcing him into the feast would just make the Ookami-sama mad. What do you think, Ba-chan? Did you really survive without preparation? What was I supposed to do? Purify, shelter, dream.
体を清める一つの建物に一人で閉じこもる眠って夜明けを待つこの三つ
Oh, and that's why she couldn't take him with her. You have to be by yourself.
じゃあ守ってないですね。トイレに一人で入りましたけど、風呂も入らず一晩
I did it then. I was in the outhouse by myself, but that's it. I didn't bathe and spent the night awake. The place got all noisy. They probably didn't expect that answer. I don't know. This has never happened before. Tai-san sounded generally puzzled.
リカ子さんどう思われます
What do you think, Rikako-san? I had no idea what kind of dynamics were at work here, but Chiemi asked for Rikako Uematsu's opinion.
私も賛成です
I consent to the idea.
信内明神が裁かれないのならこの方は山の掟の拉致外に
If our great Lord Shinai chose to spare him, he must be exempt from the rules of the mountain. Her words created even more commotion.
そういうことです
Kudo! Hello! So there.
チエミ分かってんのかそいつを
Chiemi,
ってことは
you know what you're doing, right? If we remove him,
うん
yeah,
大切な宴一日分
we won't have to waste our hanging for the day.
おやっさんどうするんだ
She looks cute, Chiemi? She's very cute. Old man, what do you think? It was a roundabout, but in the end, once again, the one to make the final call was Kanzo Makishimashi. The priest, oh, that's, Rikako.
こいつは歌でから
He won't be in the feast.
おやっさん
じゃが
But, glaring directly at me, the old man walked through the gathering and approached me. Seeing him from up close, I realized just how big and burly he was. It was pretty typical of someone living in a place like this, but it felt out of place on someone his age. Its expression displayed both an inner strength to match his physique and a profound rage.
山の掟が通じねえならわしらの取り決めに従
If the laws of the mountain don't work on ya, it'll be our rules you follow.
さもなくば
If you don't,
わしがてめえを殺す
thanks! He spoke slowly, yet decisively. Oh man, this was uncomfortable.
ちょっと待て彼が外されるというのならば私やリカ子さんも外していただけんかね
Hold on, if he can be excluded, I would like the same to happen to Rikako-san and I.
あ
Why?
我々は神藤吉の人間だぞサラナガの事情に付き合う必要はない
We're from Kami Fujiyoshi. We have no reason to play along with Saranaga's business. Well, did you follow the rules?
野里様そうはいきません宴の日にいりゃ野里も上松も身車も樋口も関係ありゃせんです
Uematsu and Higuchi are the only normal names of that bunch. No, Sato-sama, that won't do. I saw this game on Steam, was contemplating on buying it. It's been really interesting so far, honestly. We're only about a total of 4 hours in. It's super interesting. If you like Higurashi at all, definitely give it a try, I'd say. If you're here on the day of the feast, it doesn't matter if you're no Sato, Uematsu, Miguruma, or Higuchi.
おっちゃんその理屈だったら僕もやっすんもサボってよくない
Uncle, that means Yasun and I could leave too.
廃着されたものは話は別だろどうして今現在4家に属している者がこんなバカに付き合わなきゃな
You
ら
were
ない
both disinherited. That's different. Wow. So I guess the Oribeis were connected to one of those families at some point. You were both listen here, Keel.
気安く呼ぶなムロ行きましょうリカ子さんこんなもの付き合う義理はない
He's gonna be the first one hung, isn't he? Don't call me that, Muro.
いいえ野里様藤吉に住むものならば義理がないとは言えぬでしょう
You don't have the motivation to play a visual novel nowadays? I mean, it's different than a Renai visual novel, though. There are, so far, out of 4 hours of play, we've only made 3 choices. You could just put it on auto and just sit there and look at it. Those in Fujiyoshi have a duty to remain present.
みな等しく新内様の手のひらの上それがこの安水という皿の上に
All remains in the hand of Shinai-sama. Too much text? Wow. I mean, fair enough, I guess. I don't know. I still read books. So. Too much text just seems like a very non-issue, but I know different people have different reasons for not liking reading. But
文句がありゃどこへでも行け汚れで死ぬのが関の山よ
if you got a problem, then get out. Let the corruption take ya. You barely bring yourself to read books for your studying? I know for a lot of people that are like that, that comes down to a processing problem or like ADHD type stuff. But yeah, I love reading. Always have. I read Sherlock Holmes in like the 4th grade. Kyonosuke, she eventually fell silent and Ikako left to get the key, probably. She returned in no time and everyone began leaving. You're not coming with us.
はい
Alright.
どこに行けば
Where to then?
匠奥の檻使えるか
They're locking me up! Is the cage open?
そりゃ使えるけどあわかった連れてっとく
Alright, I'll take him. Cool.
あんたこっちだ
Come with me. Everyone went to some hall near the village plaza while Takumi led me elsewhere. We made our way through the tall grass. So yeah, you just don't enjoy reading. That's it then. We made our way through the tall grass between the buildings. At a dead end, next to wild trees and a rocky cliff, there was a large cage. It even had a roof. It would have passed for a hut with a bit of work.
生け捕りにした獅子を入れとくような檻だ悪いがここに入っといてもらう
This is where we keep the live game we capture. Sorry, but you'll have to wait here.
拒否権はないってわけ
Huh,
ですか
I can't say no, can I?
悪く思うなみんなが宴をやってる間だけだそうなる
Don't
と
take it the
わからね
wrong way, okay? You'll be out once we're done with the feast. It won't take long.
詳しい話を聞くのも無理
And I can't get any details, huh?
あそうだ
Yeah.
な悪いとは思うが宴に出んで済むだけで
I do feel bad about this, but you should be thankful you don't need to take part in the feast. How was I supposed to feel that way if I didn't even know what the feast was? I'd have asked, but he looked pretty irritated, probably because he wanted to get it over with. So I kept my mouth shut. The floor of the cage was mostly gravel, with spaces of wheat and other things littered about. There was a vague but very clear scent of bees.
ここ横になっていいでしょうか。眠れる時に寝といた方が
Can I lie down here?
随分ずぶといな。
Man, you're brash.
単に臆病なだけ。
No, just a coward.
死にたくないだけですよ。
I don't want to die is all. That was why I'd abandoned those people. After Takumi-san locked me in and left, I laid down and closed my eyes. The ground was hard and it reeked pretty bad, but it was still an improvement over the outhouse. I should have taken the time to think about what the villagers had said, about my strange memories, and about how I could get the hell out of here. That was what I wanted to do, but I knew I'd just be swept away by an unproductive spiral of regret if I went down that rabbit hole. Had I always been this admirable of a person? Another thing. For some reason, I'd felt like I'd spent the entirety of this time just watching the battle. So I decided that I'd focus on resting in preparation for what was to come.
みんな座りんさった。じゃあ
Hold on here. Why is Mochi changed clothes and now they're wearing a dress? Interesting. Little bit of an oddball, that one. Everyone's sitting, then
読み意味の宴を
let's begin the feast of the Yomi Purge.
上松様お願いしますよ。
Yoimatsu-sama, if I may.
新内様に献上されたおみきです。年少者から順に回し飲みしてください。
This is sacred sake presented to us by Shinai-sama. Please drink it, starting from the youngest.
お酒？あなたはお口をつけるだけ。
You just put your mouth to it.
未成年者は飲む
No drinking for you, kids.
一杯くらいどうってことね。
Not like it'd kill me.
やめなさいよすぐ。安永も何か言って。
You say something too, Yasunaga.
義経。あくまで形
This is just for tradition's sake.
うるせえな。分かってるよ、兄貴。
This is chat? Oh my god. I don't want to drink this.
はるちゃん、シュッてして。はい、終了。僕も終了。
They're done. And I'm done too.
僕もこれで。知恵ね。
Same here. Chiene.
ここから大人ね。
Alright, adult time. Here I go.
私はこのくらいで。
This is enough for me.
存外にいい酒だな。では、
It's better than I expected. Muro?
昼間っから酒が飲めるとは宴様々だな。
Oh my god. Wait, if they're going in the order of the youngest, then Muro is older than this guy who looks like he's like in his 50s. That's crazy. Aging really can touch people very differently. Okay, so youngest, obviously Miko. Then we had Yoshitsugu. Then it was Haru, Mochi, Naga, Chiemi, Kaori, this guy. What was his name? Nosato than Muro. So, old guy is somewhere between, like, Nosato is somewhere between 21 and early 30s, I guess. Because we know these two are supposed to be 30s, but they're like late 30s. Here, old man. And then this guy's like 60 something. And then obviously Taiba, and then the old man would be last.
はいはいいただきます。おじいさんモテるかいね。
That's done. Taiba, explain.
みんなお話は知っておるね。夕霧が立つとき、狼様はよみがえり、人を亡きにせんとされる。
You all know the tales, don't you? When the evening mist comes, the Okami-sama, the wolves, come back to life and try to slay the humans.
よもつ狼のお印が2つ。こたび、狼様がお二人。
There were two symbols of the Yomotsu Okami. That means that two wolves have risen.
じゃからあたしらは神内様の言う通り、こうして宴してお守り様の加護のもと狼様を探してくくらねばいかん。
That's why we must do what as Shinai-sama says, and throw feasts so we can find and hang them using the powers of the guardians some of us were given.
従わずば神内様は汚れを下され。
If we don't, we'll be taken by the corruption. That means dying a horrible death.
汚れを受けたくなくば宴に出て狼様を亡きにする。
To avoid the corruption, we must have feasts to slay the wolves. That is our role as inhabitants of Yasumizu.
お姉ちゃん、なきにするって何？
One-chan, what does slay mean?
殺す。
It means kill.
怖い。
Ooh,
大丈夫。私が守ってあげる。
it's fine. I'll protect you.
遮って申し訳ありません。
Sorry for the interruption, Yamawaki-san.
ええのですよ。小さい子のすること。狼様かもしれんのはその子だけ。
It's okay. Children always do that. She's not the only one among us who could be a wolf.
やれやれくだらん話で
Good grief, what nonsense.
おいおっさんくだらねえならとっとと出ていけやそんで汚れで死んじまえ
Yeah, you tell him, Yoshi.
よすぐおま。
失礼だがオリベさん自分の子にどんな教育をなさっているのかね俺は勝手にグレてんだ泡を巻き込んでんじゃねえや
I'm like this because I wanna be.
義継黙れぶん殴るぞ
Damn it. Wow.
あ匠にまで何威張ってんだ
The hell are you acting tough for?
殴るっつったら殴るよしもキヨも一緒だお前らちょっと黙れ
If I say I'll punch you, I will. You too, Kyo. Just shut up and listen.
貴様にそんな根性はなかろう
You don't have the guts.
言われてんぜ
Hear that?
大人は無駄に根性試しをしねえそれはともかく対話
Adults don't let stuff like that get to them. Anyway, Bachan, this doesn't seem right to me.
その話俺らはずっと聞かされてきたがずっとわからねえことが
I've been hearing about this ever since I was young, but it never made sense to me.
俺らはずっとここで育ってきたメイコ以外はみんな顔見知りだ
We've been here for as long as we can remember. With the exception of Miko, we all know each other.
狼様に入れ替わってるってそんなわけねえ
They've been replaced by wolves? Like hell, they're the same as always.
匠甘えこと言ってんじゃね
Takumi, you're being naive.
なんだよ
What?
皆さん
You're saying there's someone shady among us?
えどいつも怪しい
Everyone's shady.
おじいちゃん。
春も気をつけ
You be careful too, Haru.
手だものでもどう騙す
Even beasts can trick people. And people trick better than any beast.
こん中にわしらを騙して平然としとるもんはおる
There are things here acting like they're one of us.
なんでそう断言できるんです？
Why are you so confident?
昔の門の言葉には
There's truth in what the ancestors said.
まあ
Well, if you say so.
安水のパープーの言ってきたことだろ
That's just what Yasumizu's numbskulls say, isn't it?
近持ち。
あんたはまたそんな。
Again, you irreverent little...
モッチーやめとけって
Mochi,
すみません
stop that.
それでどうするんですか
I'm sorry, so... What do we do now?
どうって話し合いで決めんだ。
What do you mean? We talk and decide, right?
話し合いで決まるのかなしかもこの中の誰かを殺して
Will that be enough? I mean, we're deciding who to kill here, aren't we?
全員が自分の考えを言う。それで納得のいく意見を絞り込む。
Everyone will say what they think. Then we'll narrow down to the most reasonable option. Damn, we're back in... This is Danganronpa.
知恵ねどう思う
Chiene, what do you think?
少なくとも全員怪しくないと思う人と全員怪しいと思う人
I think it's a mess. We already have people who think no one's shady. And those who think everyone is.
決まるはずのない会議を延々やっても苦痛なだけそれに耐えかねてみんな偉い人の鶴の一声を望み始めるし
Yammering on and on about something that can't be reasonably decided is a waste of time. Besides, in the end, this is just going to be decided by whoever's most influential.
チーは何が言いたい
What are you getting at?
ちえみ、あんま心配すんな。俺らは安水の釜の飯食って暮らしてきたもんだ。
Don't worry too much, Chiemi. Most of us here are Yasumizu brothers and sisters. It'll work out in the end.
匠兄ちゃんの仲間思いなとこ
I appreciate that you're being so considerate, but
その仲間から一人選んで殺すんだよ
we're talking about killing someone here.
もっと嫌なこともあるよ仲間から選びたくなかったら仲間じゃない人から選べ
Plus, it gets worse. If you don't want to pick someone close to you, you'll choose someone else.
自分がそんなに好きじゃない人とか
Someone you don't
手
like.
が浅い人とか
Or a stranger.
少なくともそういう理由では絶対に選ばないようにしないと大変な間違いをしちゃうんじゃないか
Personally, I think you shouldn't let that kind of thing affect your decision. It'd be a grave mistake.
だから俺はそもそも殺すとか頭おかしいからやめようぜって。
Hey, I'm trying to say that killing and all that shit is insane and we should stop it.
匠それはいかん。
That won't do, Takumi.
ばあちゃんだってこう言い出す。だからじっくり話して。
Bachan's saying the same thing. That's why we gotta talk it out, you know?
わかるけどね
I know what you're trying to say, but...
ちょっと
Internet cut? Oh no, did it cut out? I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I didn't notice. Oh no. Or was it your internet? Twice but very brief? Ah! God. I'm sorry. Can I?
はーいはるちゃんが喋ります
Haru-chan speaking.
知恵姉が連れてきた男が記者の人たち殺したとかそういうのないのかな
What's the likelihood of the guy TNA brought here being the one who killed the journalists?
言ってるそばから
See? What did I just say?
僕はないと思うよ勘だけど
I don't think he
どう
did.
ですか
It's just my gut, though. What about you guys?
匠にあいつが怪しいっつってたろ
Takumini? You said he's shady.
あ怪しいと思ったさ。しかしちえみの言う通り。
Yeah, I
そんな
did.
理由じゃ決めねえ方がいいだろう。
But like Tiami said, we shouldn't make decisions based on that.
それにあいつは変なやつだが、ああいうことをやりそうなやつじゃないような気がする。
Also, the guy's weird, but I don't think he'd do something like that.
それは私も賛成だけどねとにかく私たちの問題なんだから私たちで解決する
I'm with you on that. This is our problem, so we should solve it by ourselves.
それだって好みで選んでることに他ならんだろう
Isn't that basically choosing someone based on who you like?
じゃあ清之助さんはどうやって決めるべき
So, how do you think we should choose?
結局こういった場で決める手段といえば多数決しかないものだよ
I believe majority rule is the most reliable method here.
民主主義万歳ってわけです
Hail democracy and all that? That's not very like you.
私はそれ以外にこれだけの人間の意見をまとめる手段など存在しない。
I'm merely saying that there's no better way to get the common opinion of this many people.
第一、話し合いで納得というのも結局は大多数が合意する結論を取るということだろう。
Also, talking it out and making the decision then is basically taking the conclusion most people agree with. No? That's the same as majority rule.
そうでなければ、それこそ君の言った鶴の一声。
Otherwise, like you mentioned, everything would be decided by whoever had the most influence. I mean, unless you're doing blind voting, whoever has the most influence will still win.
安水の有力者とは牧島勘蔵しかね、それとも山脇多江さんかね。そして殺されるのは住人でない私か。
The non-local? I don't know about that.
当のお偉方本人が狼かもしれないという状況でだ。
Is it that foolish considering the people deciding might themselves be wolves?
言っておくが、私は死ぬのはごめんだ。それならば、せめて無力より一票の力を保てる方法を望みたい。
Just so you are aware, I have no intention of dying. At the very least, I want a method where I can have a say in what happens.
俺は反対だ。多数決だ。そりゃ結論は出るだろうよ。正しいかどうかは別としてな。
I'm against that. Majority rule? Yeah, you'll get a conclusion, but there's no guarantee it'll be right.
俺はやっぱりちゃんと話し合って決めるしかねえと思う。
I still think talking it out and deciding then is the best.
ちなみに話し合いをすると
Speaking
なる
of
と
which, what will we even talk about?
タイバーちゃん、宴には山のお守りが力を貸すって話だよね。
Taiba-chan, you said something about the guardians of the mountain lending us their aid, right?
そうよ。蛇様、猿様、カラス様、それにクモ様が力を貸し
The snake, the monkeys, the crow, and the spider will lend us their aid.
詳しいことわかる？
Do you know the details?
蛇はうわじじい知ってんのかよ。蛇は狼が間
The snake can ask the mountain who's a wolf.
猿だけ2匹おる。お互いが猿じゃと。
Okay, there are two monkeys. They both know who the other is.
カラスはくくられたもんが狼じゃった。
The crow can ask the mountain if the hanged one was a wolf.
クモは狼から一晩だけ他人を守ってやれるよ。
The spider can ask the mountain to protect someone from the wolves, but only for one night.
その通りじゃと私も聞いております。
So I wonder if Haruaki was protected by the spider then, and that's why he survived.
あんた、これを知っとったのですか。あんた、ボケと
I wasn't aware you know this. I thought you were just senile.
おじいちゃんのことは置いといて。じゃあ、この中の誰かが
Anyway, that means some of us here should have those powers.
それってどういうこと？というか、神様とかお守りとか本当にあるの？
Do God and the Guardians even exist?
ただ昔話になぞらえて誰かが人殺しをしてるだけじゃ。
Isn't it just some serial killer using old folk tales as a cover?
はるちゃんや神様はちゃんとおる。
そんなの信じてるだけでしょ？
そんなことはない。みんな
No, all of us must have seen Shinai-sama at least once in our lives.
そんなの
But
ただ
that's...
ハルちゃん落ち着いて。
Calm down, Haru-chan. Are you alright?
ごめん。
Yeah. Sorry.
真偽はともかく今は分かってることを情報と
Whether
して
it's true or not, we should start by putting together what we know. It's too early to decide anything.
さっきのお守りのカゴの話もっと分かりやすくしよう。
Let's make the Guardian thing a bit easier to understand.
若い子はもっとちゃんと昔の話を覚えんといかんね。
Wow, thanks.
蛇は見破る。猿は手を取る。カラスは味を見る。
The snake sees, the monkeys hold hands, the crow tastes, the spider protects.
蛇は大衆に紛れた狼を発見することができた。ちなみに蛇は身車家の守護獣でもある。
The snake can discover the wolves. It's also the guardian beast of the Miguruma family.
猿は守護する者同士が狼でないことを確実に知っている。猿は樋口家の守護獣でもありますが。
The monkeys know for certain that the other monkeys aren't wolves. It's the guardian beast of the Higuchi family.
カラスは死んだ者が狼かどうか知ることができる。我が野里家の守護獣がカラスだ。
The crow can tell if the one who died was a wolf or not. It's my family's guardian beast.
貧乏くさいよね。
That's pretty sad.
黙れ。そしてクモは誰かの家に狼が入ることを防ぐ。クモは上
And the spider can keep the wolves from entering someone's home. It's the Uematsu's guardian.
そうですね。それぞれの家の門にもそれぞれのお守りがあしらわれています。
Indeed, each family's crest represents their guardians too.
でも実際はそれぞれの加護を受けた人はどうやってその力を
But how do those chosen by the guardians use their powers?
蛇は夜、他の生きとるもんの名前を何かに書いて枕の下に置いて寝る。
The snake writes the name of one still living person on something and puts it under their pillow before bed.
翌朝、それが人か狼様か。
The next morning, Shinai-sama tells them whether it's a human or a wolf.
猿は二人おって加護を受けた時にもう一人の猿が誰かを神内様に教わるそうじゃ。
Okay, there are two monkeys, and Shinai-sama tells them who the other monkey is the moment they're granted protection.
カラスは前の日にくくられたもんが人かどうか。
The crow is told whether the person who was hanged the day before is a human or not.
クモは他の生きとるもんの名前を何かに書いて枕に敷けばそのもんは一晩狼様から守られる。
The spider writes the name of one still living person and places it on their pillow. That person will be protected from the wolves, but only for one night.
そうしてお守り様方の力を借りてあたしらはくくる一人を選ばねばならんということ。
With these methods, we must use the powers of the guardians to pick someone to hang each day.
狼様をみんなくくれば勝ち。
If we get all the wolves, we win. If the wolves get everyone else, we lose.
やすくん、わかったかい？
Do you understand now?
わかりました。
Yes,
け
but
どそもそもばあちゃん
where did you even learn this?
あたしはあたしのおばあちゃんに。
I heard it from my Obachan.
とにかくそれじゃ長者それぞれの血筋の人
W-
が
wait, that means that those who have village head family blood have their guardians, right?
それはどうかな。
I'm not so sure about that. I mean,
絶縁者含めてここにはいないし
I don't we don't have anyone with Miguruma blood, disowned or not.
宴でお守りが誰に力を授けるか
I heard that the guardians are very fickle about who they lend their aid to.
じゃあ誰なの？
Then who are they?
下手に明かせば狼様に狙われるかも
If
し
they
れない。
reveal it, they might make themselves targets for the wolves.
そんなこと言ってたらそれこそ何も話が進まねえだろ
We won't get anything done if we can't talk about it, though.
そうかしら。例えば
You think so? What if...
めんどくせえダラダラしてても話が進
Ah,
まねえだ
screw it! We're wasting time here!
みんな聞いてくれ蛇の守護を受けたのは俺だ
Damn.
匠にそれは本当なの？というかどうやってそれが
Well then, alright. How do you even know that?
言い忘れておったよ。お守りはね、夢枕に立つ。
I've got to explain that. The guardians come when we're dreaming and leave a mark for their chosen ones.
お力をお借りするならば、頼りにしたためて枕元に入れればいい。印により答えが。
そうだ俺にも印があった
Yeah, I had a mark on me. I don't remember the dream, though.
蛇は見破る。じゃあ匠兄ちゃんにはこの場の誰が狼かもう分かってるってこと
The snake sees. Does that mean Takumi-ni-chan already knows who the wolves are?
いや、さっき言ったじゃろう。頼りにしたためねばならん。
No, as I said, he has to write it. And he can only choose one person per night. So, we won't know anything until tomorrow morning?
そうじゃ。
Yes.
一つ聞いていいかね。
Can I ask something, Muro?
なんだよ。
君はどうしてそんな極めて
Why did you reveal such important information for no reason?
どうしてって他に決める材料がね。
What do you mean, why? We have no other information to go on.
聞いた限りだと蛇の能力はとても大事です。狼にとっては
Based on what's been said, the snake's power is very important. It makes you a very powerful asset.
だからそれを簡単に明かしてしまう
So, revealing it like you did puts you in grave danger.
そんなもん怖くないよ。
I ain't scared at all.
なぜ怖くないと言えるんだね君は。相手はあんな風に人を殺す
How can you say that? Did you see what those monsters did to those people?
なんだ化け物とか信じてるじゃん。
Oh, so you believe in monsters?
今のは言葉のあやだ。とにかく今我々は一つの武器を失ったということになる。
Okay.
勝手に決めてんじゃねえ。お前に何がわかるってんだ。おい。
This is taking even longer than the Danganronpa trials. Where is main character during all this? He's in a cage. They, because he didn't go through the proper ritual, he's ineligible to participate, basically. So he's just an observer through all of this. Because he was supposed to sleep. Because if you don't cleanse yourself, lock yourself in a building, and sleep, according to Chiemi, you die. Which is what happened to those two journalists. So even though he didn't die because he didn't bathe and sleep, he's ineligible. So they just locked him in a cage for some reason. I guess so he can't leave? I don't know.
わかると皆様聞いていただきたいのですがね。
Listen to me, everyone.
この場で何か言えば
Anything you say here is free information for the wolves. We should talk things out without overplaying our hands, yeah?
そうですね。
That's true.
それで一つ
And it gave me an idea.
今私が喋っているんだ。
Oh, shut up!
黙れ兵六。やす、言え。
Yasu, speak.
匠兄が正体を明かしたことを極力有効に利用するには
To make the best use of Takumi-ni's reveal, the spider should protect him.
この中にいる雲は正体を明かさずに夜頼りをしたためるとかして匠兄を守るのがいい。これで匠兄は助かる。どうかな。
Alright. That would keep him safe. What do you think?
いいんじゃね
Sounds good to me.
やす
Yasu?
おやっさん。
Old man,
え。匠は今日
you'll be safe today. Ask the snake to tell you about someone.
誰かを
Whatever he finds out will definitely be correct, right?
そうなるね。
Correct. Takumi-chan, can you promise you won't lie no matter who you investigate and what results you get? Of course I...
決まってるさ。
Of course I won't. Is it that enough for today? I don't think we can hang anyone without any kind of proof.
本当にそれでいいのかよ。
Are you sure that's okay?
何かまずい
Why
と思う
wouldn't
の
it
か
be?
ただ待つってのがしょうがない
Just sitting around and waiting doesn't suit me, okay?
それはわかるけど。あ、でも匠兄が誰を調べるかはみんなの前で言っておいた方がいい。
どうして。
Why?
匠兄が誰かを調べてその結果が匠兄に不都合だったとき
So if you investigate someone and don't like the results, you can't lie that you actually investigated someone else.
嘘なんてつ
Well,
かねえよ。
I wouldn't lie.
合理的だな。安水の者には情の熱い室には必須の条件と言える。
That's reasonable. I'd say it's necessary for Muro, considering how sympathetic he is to Yasumizu's inhabitants.
別に匠兄ちゃんに限らないでしょ。身内は誰だってかばいたいの。
He's not that special.
そんな場合じゃ
Everyone wants to protect their own, but the situation doesn't allow that.
あと利点がもう一つ。
We can all discuss and decide who we should investigate first, right?
そうだな。
True. I'd like to talk about that too. Who do you think I should go for, Yasunaga?
僕はちょっとわからないけど、それこそ不当に選ばれそうな人は
I'm not too sure, but I think we should start with the one who's most likely to be unjustly chosen to be hanged.
では私を調べてもらえないか。正直なところを言えば。
なくったって。
You're speaking quite a lot if you ask me.
じゃあ器用を調べる。それでいい。
I would have thought it was Meiko who would be the most obvious because she's the outsider, but alright.
異論はねえな。
Fine by me. Then we're not hanging anyone today.
本当に
Is that really fine?
あ
Yeah, it's gonna be fine. That's it for today.
解散。
Well then, I think this is probably as good a place as any to stop. Now that we know no one's going to be dying today. This is so interesting. We'll definitely be playing some more soon. Yes, I know you want food. Be patient. Be patient. Cats, I tell you. Alright, tomorrow is Friday, so we're playing Tales of Graces. Yay! Take a break from all the reading and visual novels, so I can rest my voice a little bit, and then we'll be doing Ace Attorney on Saturday and Danganronpa 2 on Sunday, and maybe we'll come back to Raging Loop on Monday. Alright. Close the game now. Let's see. I think Toko is playing tonight. Let's see. If not, Junie's playing Final Fantasy VI. Let's see. Yep, okay. We'll go rate Junie then while she's playing Final Fantasy VI. Hooray! Alrighty, folks. Here is raid message. And here is Discord for any lurkers or new folks who came on in. For now, that's gonna be it for me. We shall investigate more stuff over the weekend and on Monday. We're playing so many mystery games, but for tomorrow, it's JRPG. And for now, that is gonna be it for me. So, if it's daytime where you are, have a wonderful rest of your day. And if it's nighttime, have a great rest when you head on off to bed. And until next time, take care of yourself, wash your face, brush your teeth, eat good food, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye! Bye-bye-bye-bye.